I really need to invest in a supply of antihistamine on the farm. So I'm so lucky today that I've got a kind subscriber and his son and his wife, who's the cheerleader, who've come over to help me get these kitchen cupboards put together, which is always a nightmare. So thank you, anonymous subscribers. Busy filling up the pig's wallow. Usually when I fill up the wallow with all 15 of them using it, it lasts for about 2 days before I need to refill it again. And with the water coming out and it's fresh, so they drink, even though they're using their water trough quite a bit. That one you can see there, and that's filled with water. When the water comes into the wallow, they drink over here. And I have to say, some of them, because they've got quite short snouts, they really, I think they only access the water in the water trough when it's quite full, like it is now. But when the water's all coming out like this, because I just pumped it this morning, so it's nice and fresh and it's nice and cool. Yeah, they take advantage of it. Looks like I don't know why they always move sticks and stones into the water. Really, there we go. Flapjack is having an early morning roll. Not roll in the hay, roll in the wallow. They've managed to move this pig water onto the electric fence, and it's shorting out. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to move it. It's going to be quite heavy. Try and move it just away from this electric fence. Yeah, I just used this stick just to push it back, so that was fine. So now it's not touching anything. So I managed to get hold of an old trailer which has very good bones. It doesn't really have a floor, which could be an issue without having a floor to a trailer. I'm actually just going to see if that metal grid fence that I've got can fit on the bottom in the interim, because then I can use this. I'm going to use this around the farm initially, because I think this will be great for when I go and load up firewood instead of putting things in the back of the van. It's going to be easier to put it in here and then offload it from here. Also, when we start moving all the fencing stuff around, it's going to be easier to put those fencing rolls in here. When you put it in the van, it scratches the bottom of the van, and yeah, I think it's going to be used around the farm initially, but my goal is to eventually turn this into an animal transport vehicle. I intend to apply for an animal transport license. They do offer it once a year in Fundau, which is like the nearest big town / city next to me, but it's in Portuguese. But what they told me at the Department of Agriculture is if I do a course in Ireland, and I've seen they offer one online, because Ireland is in English, I will understand it, and because Ireland's part of the EU, it's recognized over here. So I'm going to try and do my animal transport license in Ireland, and then this would have to sort of get built up, obviously, like with a grate for ventilation, and it's got to have a roof, and it has to have a ramp. It's already got a ramp, but the ramp will have to be strengthened, and obviously a proper floor put in. But I think the bones of this are quite good. I'm going to just put this on the floor at the moment, so I can collect firewood. You can hear the sheep all crying to be led out there, waiting to go out for their morning wander. But I need to close the gate over here first. But yeah, going to pick this up and put it in the bottom of that trailer. I've carried it here, just sliding it in. Obviously, for anything heavier, I'm going to have to get something a bit stronger than this for the floor, but I think for firewood it'll be fine. Okay, so it's not quite big enough to fill the whole bottom. I reckon 2 of these would be fine, but I think for firewood at the moment this is fine. Definitely need to get something stronger. I'm thinking like probably need to get like a whole big metal plate like that to go along the bottom. You guys are so impatient this morning. Freckles, Lizzie, Betty, the noisiest. I've let them out to graze, but they all followed me inside with wheelbarrow to load more hay into the hay feeder, which, yeah, despite all naysayers, is still holding strong. I don't know why you want to eat this hay now. You've got grazing outside. See, this is just a pile of firewood in the sheep's pen. I've got quite a bit lying around here, fallen tree there. Yeah, there's a lot to collect. And I have a lot of wood for the winter. That's the thing with living with a farm that's got an oak forest on. You have endless amounts of firewood. Got my buckets of water, got the corn, got the powdered grain, ready to fill this and make another mash. What are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah. That's such a good girl. So gentle. Yes. You're so gentle. You also wanting one? Whoops, I dropped it. Yeah. No, man, you need to take my finger. Let's get another piece for you. Should we get a piece for you as well? Come, where are you, Red Velvet? There. Good girl. Such a good girl. Yes. Managed to pick some more tomatoes this morning, beating the piglets and Red Velvet, who've discovered fresh tomatoes. I've just been stung by a wasp over here. It's pretty painful. We'll see if it swells up like it does when I get stung on my arm or hand. So thank you so much to my visitors who came yesterday. I have these cupboards built, which is under the window, which will be replacing these racks, blue racks that I had. So I'm going to clean the stuff off that. I'm going to start packing things into the cupboard and getting rid of piles of things that can now go into the shed that Louise left for me to use. So I'm feeling a bit better today after that wasp thing, but you can still see I'm still quite swollen around here. You can see above, like my eyes only just like open. Yeah, I need to definitely start keeping antihistamine on hand, because yeah, every time I get stung by a wasp or a bee, it swells up quite a bit. But it was quite a bit more swollen last night. I could hardly even open the eye, so it is a bit better today. But it's still, I can feel it swollen over here and definitely around the eye. I need to harvest all these cabbage plants for the pigs, but in the meantime I've got some different seeds here. I've got some melons, different kinds of squash, watermelon. Just going to put a few seeds. I've just put some more soil in here, and I'm not sure if these are something I've planted or weeds, so I've left it. If anybody knows, is this a weed or something I've planted? I can't remember. It doesn't look like a weed, but it might be. Are you coming to watch me on the chainsaw, or are you coming to inspect the shed and try and get into the feed bags? What is your plan? That's what happens when you sniff dust. You're sneezing. Yes. Somehow I think you're not coming to watch me on the chainsaw. Yes. I don't think you're coming to watch me on this chainsaw. Oh my goodness, Red Velvet. What are you trying to do? She knows exactly how to figure out how to open this bag. Yes, you're too clever. So I'm going to start with firewood. I'm going to start cutting up some firewood, and just to start stacking it now. Quick half-hour work, not even, just to cut up some wood for winter, which we still got to get through summer and fall, but anyway, it's for winter. I had hoped to get quite a lot of work done the last couple of days, but to be honest, this wasps thing knocked me a little bit. It made me quite dizzy, I was nauseous, and it gave me diarrhea as well. Probably too much information, but I just felt I needed to lie down. I felt quite fatigued from it, even though it had the swelling has gone down a lot. I am still a little bit swollen by my eye, but it's not as bad as what it was, let me tell you. At least I can open my eye now. So yeah, unfortunately, when things like that happen, you get stung and you have a little bit of a reaction. You can't get all the jobs done that you wanted to get done. Handful more tomatoes today. So I need to sort of sort out my wood storage area, because I do have wood here that is too big to fit into the wood burner. So I've got to cut everything down into wood burner lengths. So this is quite a big job. I think I must add this onto my summer job smorgasbord. So this is why I always leave blank spaces open on the job smorgasbord. So let's just put here, cut wood in wood. Well, I don't know if I'll fit in storage. Maybe I'll just call it a shed, even though it's not a shed. Right, I add that. I reckon that's going to be more than one day's work though, so let's find another spot. Probably about 3 days, but I'll give it 2 days to start off with. So today I did some cutting of firewood. So I can color this in. You're not worrying about the pointers needs to be sharpened, and I don't know where the sharpener is, so it's not colored in beautifully, but there we go, cut firewood, that's in. Quite hot today, and I made some delicious homemade lemonade the other day. Very refreshing. And I did something unusual, maybe, I don't know. Very easy to make. I had 7 lemons. So I just squeezed the lemons, so it was the juice from 7 lemons. But what I did is I had 1 3/4 cups of sugar and 1 cup of water. And I put that on the stove so that the sugar melted in the water to make like a syrup. But into that, I put in 4 peppermint tea bags. And I tell you, game changer. Game changer. Because you get that like a very mild tea flavor. Very, very mild. But enough of a peppermint flavor to your lemonade. Really, really good. So once you've made that syrup that I made with the tea bags, then I just decanted that into soda bottles that I had. So I actually managed to fill, I probably got up to about here with the syrup mixture. So it was the 1 3/4 cup sugar, 1 cup water, 4 peppermint tea bags that you sort of boiled up, and then to that I then added the juice from 7 lemons that I had. And so when I
decanted that into these bottles, it came to about here, I'd say. And then I just filled the rest up with water and put in the fridge. And oh my goodness, the most refreshing, delicious drink ever. The peppermint tea bags. That's the trick. So, in the meantime, stay sane, stay safe, and I'll see you on the next video.